Oh, man, I couldn't believe this. So, Gavin, you famously locked horns with Brianna Joy Gray about Marjorie Taylor Greene and how you can never really take anything that she says seriously, obviously, right? And whenever she acts like she's doing something that's going to be populist, what it really is it's just positioning and it's running cover for whatever's actually going on within the annals of the conservative movement. Here we have Cenk Uygur taking the bait in a pretty remarkable fashion. I'll go ahead and read this thread for everyone and get your thoughts, Gavin. Big moment on tonight's Young Turks. Rep Marjorie Taylor Greene is coming on at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to see if we can stop a war together. There are skeptics that right-wing and left-wing populists can work with each other. Well, if there's anything we should work on together, it's to stop a war. And then we'll go on and say that he promotes that they're on nearly all platforms, but easiest way to watch is on the Young Turks channel on YouTube. We're live every night, yada, yada, yada. And I have to give a shout out to this obvious Vanguardian down here. Ask Marjorie Taylor Greene her thoughts on you firing Francesca for being too progressive. Shout out to Cupcake Boner.
What did Cenk say to back?
He says, I didn't fire her for being too progressive. I didn't fire her at all. She was a contractor. Why'd you make an entire freaking video announcement about it then, dummy? There are a lot of people at the network with the same opinion she has, but they still kiss the ring. They still kiss my ass whenever I walk by them in the room. They just haven't attacked their coworkers online like a child. You know you're lying about the reason, right? And nobody agreed with Cenk. 15 favorites is pretty pathetic for an account of his size.
Yeah, that's completely fucking ridiculous. I mean, Brianna Wu was literally still on the payroll, insulting Cenk's own flesh and frickin' blood. Hassan Piker calling him a terrorist sympathizing Jew hater. But Francesca gets fired for like saying his brain was broken in a joking way. What a fucking loser piece of shit. But back to the real announcement. Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene coming on the Young Turks to try to stop a war with Cenk. I say Cenk should stay the fuck away from foreign policy because the last time he said he was getting involved with the Pentagon and Doge, a couple of weeks later they announced $1 trillion budget. So I don't know if that had anything to do with Cenk. I don't think so. But either way, clearly your efforts are not working. So maybe stay the fuck away and, you know, go back to the Poly Market studio where you belong. Which I guess that is where this will be occurring, probably in the Poly Market studio. But still, just say you're going to fucking talk. Just say you're going to talk. And ultimately, what people would actually like to see is a debate. Why don't you debate Marjorie Taylor Greene? One of the most dumbass, just fucking idiotic, anti-Semitic, racist, fucking, I mean, you could just say every word in the fucking book. Marjorie Taylor Greene, what do you even need to say, right? But no, instead of probing into any of that, we're going to harmoniously agree, launder her reputation, act like she's actually serious about something that she's not serious about. And I saw Marjorie's statement. We can put it up on screen. I'll try to find it. But, you know, she was talking about how I thought Trump was anti-war. And now we're on the verge of war with Iran. What? I don't support this. And it's like, yeah, I'm glad she made the statement. But why the fuck were you supporting Trump in the first place when it was more than obvious that he was going to be a warmongering piece of shit? And where was your statement about him obliterating Houthis in Yemen? Where is your statement about this and that? Like, he's done all these horrific actions foreign policy wise. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is now just showing up to the table. Why? Because Tucker Carlson has. Tucker Carlson put out a big tweet about Iran that he was totally right about. I'm glad he tweeted it out as well. But now Marjorie Taylor Greene is just kind of jumping on that bandwagon, and she's agreeing with Tucker Carlson, which again is a good thing. Tucker is 100% right about Iran, but this is not principled opposition to Donald Trump at all. And it's completely ridiculous for Cenk to have her on for anything other than a debate.
Oh, 100%. And also, how come, again, I bring this up all the time, but how come he can take Marjorie Taylor Greene, a proven liar about this exact issue, which I'm going to demonstrate in 1 second. He is calling Sam Cedar a low-rent grifter, somebody that he can't bother to have an exchange with, somebody that's too beneath him to even debate, but he's going to have a good faith casual discussion with Marjorie Taylor Greene because he thinks it's going to mean fuck all to stopping a war. And before I pass the ball back to you, Galvin, because I'm interested to get your thoughts, this is something that Marjorie Taylor Greene is famous for doing, and it wasn't that long ago. Okay, what did she do? When it was popular within the conservative movement, when guys like Tucker Carlson and all these other assholes were out here being like, oh, the Republican Party's the real anti-war party. This is what Marjorie Taylor was doing. Marjorie Taylor Greene bought defense stock the day before slamming a for-profit war, right? And you know what she did again not so long ago? That was from 2022. This is what she did the other day. We don't know exactly which stocks she bought, but we know Palantir was a main one of them. Marjorie Taylor Greene bought thousands of dollars in stock right before Trump's tariff pause. You think you can have a conversation with this woman in good faith? No, she's a pawn of the Republican Party. What she does is she goes out there and she gives rhetoric that a certain part of her base wants to hear, and Trump allows it because he knows that when the day is over, she is going to divert every single follower she has back to him. Okay. And she's going to talk about how it was some other person near the Trump administration that's going to be taken care of, that's actually preventing Trump from upholding the MAGA vision that he's been telling them about, right? She's fighting for it. And don't worry, we're going to beat the deep state that's infested the Trump administration this time around. She's playing a character. She's doing a part. Okay. She's in a elaborate cosplay to help Donald Trump shield his followers, who desperately want to be shielded, by the way, from the reality, which is that every single promise he made them was a lie.
Yeah. And again, like, this conversation with Cenk has not happened yet. If it does go down and Cenk really challenges her in a sufficient way, after, you know, the brief point of agreement or whatever about the war, then I'll give him credit. Like, I'm not just reactionary, like reflexively opposed to everything Cenk does. If he actually does a good job in this interview, we'll give him credit tomorrow. But I have a really strong feeling, Zach, that this is going to go about the same as all of his recent conversations with right-wingers, which is like, oh, let's spend 5% of the conversation disagreeing and 95% of it singing kumbaya and talking about how much we have in common and how the right wing is so much different than it used to be. Now they used to love Dick Cheney and now they hate Dick Cheney. Like, all this stupid crap, right? When in reality, it's not going to change anything. Donald Trump is in power because of people like Marjorie Taylor Greene telling everyone that he was anti-war, even though folks like us on the left were being honest about that from day one. And now Marjorie wants to come out here and be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I got duped. I got tricked. It's like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I have no interest in this. Go fuck yourself if you're really that stupid. Plus, she's going to come on here to talk about how Israel is controlling America or whatever, which is correct. But she's also the lady who was talking about Jewish space lasers. Is this really the person that we really want to, like,
Chemtrails.
Yeah, chemtrails. Like, she's a fucking deranged, conspiratorial anti-Semite. I don't even think she's the right person to be, like, joining forces with on this mission, because she's just so discredited. It's just going to make it look like, oh, what, the pro-Palestinian left is now elevating this rotten, disgusting fucking anti-Semite, so that because she's saying one thing that they agree with. Like, I don't think that's a good look. I don't think that's a good idea. It would be like us having Nick Fuentes on here to talk about how bad Wall Street is and how bad the bankers are, right? Oh yeah, Nick Fuentes, you're so right about that, bro. The Wall Street is really evil, and the bankers, they are destroying society. Like, it's not worth it.
Yeah, this is just, and I don't even know what the upswing is for Cenk on this, because it's not like Marjorie Taylor Greene's audience is going to be interested in becoming a Young Turk subscriber. It just makes him look like the lol cow of the left, as somebody in our chat put it the other day. It just makes him a joke. It makes him a laughing stock, and it further debases him. And I just think this is one of those final nails in the coffin where, as we're fighting a fascist regime, you're going to go and break bread with one of their number one clowns. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yep, it's completely embarrassing. We'll see how it goes, though. Like I said, if Cenk really challenges her and really asks tough questions, then I'm not opposed to it. Like, I don't want you guys to think that, like, a commentator interviewing a congressperson is inherently a bad idea. No, obviously I would interview every single congressperson in the country if I could. If I had access to them, I would invite them on the show and ask them tough questions. We tried to do that with Ro Khanna. He chickened out. Haven't heard back from the guy. Hopefully we do at some point. But the point is, we would actually, come in there confrontationally with tough questions. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think there might be one or two tough questions, and then it's going to be a lot of, like, kumbaya and beer drinking, as Cenk likes to put it. Who knows?
Yeah, we will be the critics. We'll review it. Honestly, you guys watched us review the Ben Glebe exchange, honestly, between Cenk. We were like, he came out ferociously, and he did pretty well. Now, I think it's sus that he employs a bunch of rabid Zionists, but at least from a debate performance, he did well in that exchange. We'll tell you that we disagree with you know, a lot of what Marjorie Taylor Greene has to say, and we disagree with Cenk often. But if he comes out swinging and he, you know, pins her down and he's like, you're a fraud, and so is Donald Trump, and we'll be like, damn, Cenk still has a couple good ones left in him.
Yep. And also, while she's there, Cenk, make sure to ask her how the abolishing of the FBI is going.
Yeah, right.
Because that's what Brie was giving her credit for 2 years ago. Oh, she's an abolitionist. She's a why is she out lefting the left? I can't believe all these lefties are defending the FBI, and we have Marjorie Taylor Greene out here advocating for its abolition. I'm like, are you really that stupid? You're really that fucking dumb to think she's on your same page? You think she's like a defund the police person? Are you kidding me? No, she wants Trump to destroy any institution which could, you know, keep him in check and replace the people in that institution with fucking loyalists. That's what it was always about, and that's what Trump is in the process of doing, not just with the FBI, but with the entire fucking government.
Oh, yeah, dude, it's crazy, too. And the fact that she came out and said that only because she didn't want Trump to face any consequences for having classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. It's like, bro, she's, again, just playing her role as a stooge for Donald Trump. Anyway, it's crazy stuff.
Look out the door if you hear an ambulance. The Vanguard will be